Yeah. Learning how to develop a chakra system is really learning about less being more. The less ego, the less tension, the less opinions, the less all of these things that kind of bolster people up and kind of give them some kind of footing in the world, but just creates more problems and just a lot of tension. The less of all of that and the more spirit that flows through us, the more higher energy, creative energy that flows through us, the bigger a person we become. The more we can produce in life, the more we can, open inside and find connections to what's infinite in the universe. It's all about energy. I mean, everything in this world is just energy. And it's a lot of chaos because people internally are filled with a lot of chaos. And if people could learn how to manage that chaos, how to, subdue that chaos and get quiet inside themselves, the whole nature of life would change. People would interact with each other differently. They would see each other differently. Because frankly, I've learned in my own life, what we see outside ourselves is just a reflection of who we are. And if our hearts are open, there's love inside us, there's patience, there's forgiveness, there's all of these things inside us, then what we begin to see in the world is a different reality. We have patience with other people's problems. We can forgive other people their indiscretions, mostly because we can forgive ourselves our own indiscretions. And we can truly live in this world in a way where life has a totally different purpose. And it all depends upon a human being's condition within themselves. If there's constant tension and chaos and, ego and opinion and who's right and wrong and blah, 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 and all that stuff, and they said that's what we're going to see in life. And that's how we're going to try to interact with life. So the whole situation is, how do people change inside themselves? If people change inside themselves, the world around them is going to change. Or at least they'll see the world differently. I mean, the craziness is never going to go away, but our tolerance for what goes on in the world, you understand, will get stronger. We'll have more patience with all the bullshit that goes on in life and other people's unconsciousness. Does anyone have a question they'd like to ask? I'm not saying you learn this in two meditation sessions. You don't. It takes time because it's not a matter of knowing these things intellectually. That doesn't work. It's a matter of an organic change that takes place inside somebody that enables them to truly live this way, to experience this as a living reality in their life. That takes time. It takes a lot of work. And mostly the work is not with the external world, it's really inside ourselves, fixing us, which is all this meditation is about, fixing oneself, getting the heart open, getting balance, getting the mind quiet, getting the throat open. You understand? Mastering sexual energy so that it really gives life inside one. And all of these energies are amazing energies that are chaotic in people because people haven't learned how to master them. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask?
I have a question, Stuart. This is Linda.
Yes, Linda.
When you talk about your inner voice in one of your last posts, do you consider your inner voice to be the same as your intuition or different?
Yeah, intuition is part of it. Instincts are part of it. Um, but this inner voice comes from such a profound place inside that it gives birth to intuition. It gives birth to inspiration. It creates great works of art, creates great works of music. You understand? Because it comes from what's infinite in the universe. And then it enables us to listen to our intuition, listen to ourselves inside, and not, try to analyze it and figure it out, but allow that inner voice which, brings intuition, which brings inspiration to guide us in our lives. But it's a connection with, let's say it's a connection with the Om sound, with the sound of creative energy in the universe. From right at the beginnings, the genesis of all time, that energy manifests. And what we do is we cut ourselves off from that inspiration because there's so much tension in us and so much ego and opinions and all that stuff I talk about. That's what cuts us off from being connected to what's infinite in the universe. And then when one masters all that tension and that voice will manifest, it'll create extraordinary things in one's life. And the only thing that blocks it is us. We're so worried about money and about this and relationships and blah, 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 and on and on and on. Wars and poverty and, people starving to death. People are completely freaked out. And the only answer is that nobody's going to fix this world. People have to fix themselves. And if they don't fix themselves, the world is just going to be what it is. So we have no alternative but to get strong enough to be able to deal with this kind of world that we live in. So it doesn't cut us off from our connection with spirit. So it's not just intuition, it's much deeper than that. It gives birth to intuition. It gives birth to inspiration. It gives birth to creative acts. But it's a voice that is, it bellows from the beginnings of time, this voice from Genesis. And it creates wonderful music and art and this and that. And when the musicians and the artists are in tune with it, and generally great musicians, great artists, they can be crazy as hell in their ordinary life. But when they're in front of that canvas, they're in tune with that energy, which creates paintings like Van Gogh painted, Rembrandt painted, et cetera, et cetera. These were not happy people, but put them in front of a canvas and all of it went away. And what came through was a connection with that creative energy. Now, what I keep talking about, and I mean this, the greatest creative act of all is one's life. And if one masters their tension and all those blockages inside, learns how to develop the chakra system, their life becomes the greatest possible creation they could have. Day by day, moment by moment, becomes the ultimate creation. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? This
Thank
is
you.
not easy, and I hope it's clear. It's not easy to do, but it takes inner work. It takes the development of a chakra system that keeps us in permanent connection with higher energy in the universe. And ultimately, what it really means is the human heart is open. The human heart is open. There's love, there's compassion, there's joy. One becomes a happy person, you know? And I always say it, happy people are enlightened people. You know, I always say it, and I mean that. Somebody that can sustain happiness through the good times and the bad times. Keep their heart open. And people have become enlightened people. You don't meet many people like that, you know, that can live that way. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, if there are no more questions, then there'll be meditation on Thursday. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. And as I say, as I close every class, you know, everybody needs a teacher. I come here, you all are my teacher. Your presence here, you know, forces me to go so deep inside myself that it taps this vast resource of energy. So God bless you all, and thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being part of this. And I am really looking forward to seeing everyone on Thursday. Have a wonderful, I mean, if you happen to be around where I live, it's freezing cold out, you know, so stay inside and enjoy whatever the inside of your life, you know, can give you. So God bless you all. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You know, Rafi, well, I was thinking about you this morning and I was going to call you this morning, not about class, but just to say hello. And here
Yes,
you are. It's
you're
great
right.
to see you. Great to see you, Rafi.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.